Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a go at modelling a smartphone inside of Fusion 360. We will then jump over to Blender to have a go at texturing it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is bring in our reference images. So if we click up to this button here that says Canvas, go to Insert for Computer, and then on my desktop I have got my references. So I've got fronts, look on the front plane here, bring it into position. I'm not going to change sizes just yet, so I'm just going to bring it in and bring it up. Do the same again with the back. And then we'll do the same on the side. Okay, now what we want to do is make sure we've got those the right size. So I'm going to just turn off those ones first. If I go and right click and calibrate, and I'm going to click here to here, and I can put in what size it wants. So all I've done is go on Google and just typed in measurements. So I'm just going to put those in there. So all we'll do is that needs to be 68mm. And then same again, let's calibrate top and bottom, and that needs to be 156. Let's do the same on the side. So let's right click, calibrate. That's going to be 8mm thick, 8.4. So let's do 8.4. Enter. And then bring that up into position. So let's right click, edit canvas, drag up. Let me change the height of that slightly. So let's just right click, calibrate, top and bottom. Again, that needs to be 156. And then we're going to bring this one up as well, and for this one, edit canvas, drag this one up to be exactly the same size. Okay, so we've now got our canvases. I'm going to turn that one off for now. I'm going to give us a quick save. Once I'm doing that, what I say clicks in, and then we're going to create sketch on this front plane here, go arc a rectangle, it'll come to create and go to rectangle there. So we want 2-point rectangle. Zoom in and just go to where that lines up, come down to the bottom, like that. And then finish sketch, hit E to extrude, or you can go to create and extrude there. So you see the keyboard shortcut E. Hit E, should highlight it. If it doesn't, you can just click on it like that, come to the side, and then we can drag that out. And then let's do two-sided drag out like that. So we've now got our 3D rectangle. We're going to go to modify and fill it, or keyboard shortcut F, and just grab these corners. If you hover over, I can actually see through those corners there. Come to the front again, just drag that in like that, and then let's fill it. I'm going to grab that surface and that surface. I'm going to drag that in. Just trying to keep in line with this bit here. Then enter. We've got the basic sort of shape done. I'm going to turn off that side plane for now. So what I'm going to do is then start to put in these shapes. So we've got the little speaker section there. So let's turn plane back on. Okay, first thing we're going to do though, let's hit E to extrude. I'm going to drag that down. Because when we texture it, we want to have another screen on the inside. So I'm going to click on that surface again, hit E, and I can drag up. But this time, I'm going to go from join to new body. So now we've got two bodies there. So we've got main body there, and this is our inside of our screen. I'm then going to do the same, hit E to extrude, and just drag up, zoom up until I get in line like that. And again, go to new body. Now we've got three bodies. So I'll turn that off, you can have a look. So we've got our main body there, and then we've got these two parts, because this will be where we put the actual image of the screen, and this will be our clear material, the actual like texture of the screen as well. Let's now start putting some details in. We're going to turn that off and that off. So we're just working on the inside bit of the screen first of all. Let's create a sketch. I'm going to go to offset, select that and drag it in. Click OK, and I'm going to go alpha line and just come straight across like that. Hit escape to get rid of the tool. T for trim or modify, and trim there. I'm going to trim these bits off. And I'm going to fill it. Now remember, fillet in sketching is slightly different to filleting when doing solid. So make sure you don't just hit F on your keyboard, because that'll finish your sketch and try and get you to fill it as if it's a body, which we don't. Enter. Finish sketch. So if we turn that off, and what we're going to do, E, and cut that off. So you see, that's the inset bit where our screen is going to go. And then we're going to get that back again. So we're going to grab that surface, hit E to extrude, and just click to there, but go to new body again. So now we've got the inside bit of our screen that's going to go on top of it, and then the outside case. So we've got all the different parts we need except for the buttons, and now we can start cutting some more details in. So let's start up here. Create a sketch. I'm going to click on the surface. Now remember, sketching will only let you start on a flat surface. So if you try and click on like the filleted edges here, it won't work. I'm going to hit L for line. Come over to get in the middle. You know, in the middle, when that little triangle appears, I'm going to come down. And the reason why I'm doing that is just so I can mirror across. So I'm going to make sure it's going to be symmetrical, which is what we want. Like that. And then I'm going to just put it just around these edges off slightly. Enter, and then we're going to mirror that across. Let's go to create and mirror. Just double click. And then I'm going to deselect that line, because then I'm going to use that as the mirror line. Click OK. So then I can hit E and grab that surface. I'm going to just drag it in. Like that. I start to get some of those little details in. I'm going to hit F for fillet, so I can grab, and I'm just like 0.1, something like that. But let's leave all the filleting to the end. So we're going to do everything, fill the details first, and then we'll fillet last. Right. Let's create sketch. Seed circle, go to create and circle there. I'm going to go center circle, and drag out, hit E for extrude. I'm going to turn that one off and just use that to cut through here like that. And then down at the bottom, turn this off. You see we've got this little detail here as well. I'm going to create a sketch, on the surface. And much like I did before, I'm going to hit L for line, find the middle. Come up. Now let's draw that across. So remember, if you've got a tool attached to your mouse and you can't get rid of it, just hit escape and it will get rid of it. And I'm just going to extend this line like that. Let's fill it those again, just so they're not really harsh lines. And then we're going to mirror that across, create mirror, we'll click, left, like that. So again, and you know it's a closed profile, we have go over it in highlights, and hit E, select those profiles. Drag down. Just to make sure it goes all the way through, I'm going to do both ways. I'll just drag it up a little bit as well. Okay, so that's most of the details on the front, because there isn't a huge amount to do on the front. So what we're going to do next, I'll make sure I've got these buttons on the right side. So we need to have, let me look at my image here. So it's which buttons, we go to this side, turn on. Okay, so we want that on this side. So we've got buttons on this side, and then I'm looking because I've got exactly the same phone, so I'm just going to look at where all these buttons need to go. Okay, so what we'll do is let's create an offset plane. So what we want to do is come here, click on offset plane, or construct offset plane, click on this plane here and just drag out, start sketch. I'm just turning off those bodies by clicking my eyeball just so I can see a bit clearer. And here I'm going to go to create, let's go to slot and center slot. Just click and drag. And let's cut this little groove in as well. And let's mirror that across. In fact, first of all, let's just trim that bit. No, not yet. Let's not do that just yet. Let's fillet this first. Right, now let's mirror. Select that line. Now I've hit T on my keyboard for trim. Trim its away. And I'm going to fillet just so we soften those edges a little bit as well. Okay, so we've now got that on this side. So I'm going to turn on those bodies again. Just sketch, and you see that sketch is sort of hanging out over here. So I'm going to hit E to extrude. In fact, before we do that, turn that off so we see what's going on. I'm going to turn off everything except for the main body. And I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, so I've got an extra copy of it, and turn that off because I'm going to hit E to extrude, take that and just drag it through. It's going to start cutting, but under here it says on cut, so you've got join cut. If I go to intersect, it's going to leave me we could click OK with that bit instead. So then if I were to turn back on this body here, it's there, and I can go to combine, target body, this body, tool body. I'm going to use that. I'm going to say cut, but make sure you've got keep tool selected. So now it's cut that hole out of it and we've got that button. So now what we should be able to do, hopefully, is add a little fillet onto that. And same, I'm going to grab that and let's do like a 0.2. So we've now got that there. Then on this side, and do the same sort of thing, we've got a few different buttons. So we've got things like the volume and screen capture or screenshot button or lock button. Let's just do that. Now, annoyingly, because I haven't got both sides, so I've got the left-hand side and not the right-hand side because I couldn't get it, so not a problem. Is let's just bring this one back. Same thing, then Control C, Control B. So we've got another copy of it and just hide one. Offset plane again. And drag out a little bit. Create sketch. And we'll do the same sort of thing. So we have got, it doesn't matter if we're not exact with everything, but we're going to go create slot, center to center slot. And one thing we can do, so I'm going to hit escape just so I can hit P, project. If I select this one, bodies, select the whole thing, turn the body off, you see it's done an outline so you can sort of see where it's going a bit better. So that's, now that I've done that, let's go to slot and center slot. And then let's add in a couple of these little details. Just make sure we're in the center. Well, actually, so let's make that a bit shorter. Right click and you can repeat your last command. Okay, finish sketch. Hit E and I can just grab these profiles, turn on that body, and again I'm going to drag through. And again, let's go to intersect. We'll just drag it. Like that. And then we can bring back main body. Sorry, combine again. Target body, this one, tool body. Grab these three, cut and keep tools. Then if we turn those off, you can see that we've got those little details cut in. And then let's fill it. These, hold our control and you can do multiple fillets at the same time. Let's try a bit bigger. How's that look? Like 3, okay. Goes back, fillet. I'm using the keyboard shortcut F to do that. Okay. And this one here, what we're going to do, let's create a sketch. Hit L for line and just find the middle, because this is the volume one. And I'm just going to go escape and hit L again and come to the middle where it does a little triangle. Like that. I'm going to do R for rectangle. I'm going to do center rectangle. Just draw out. And then teeth trim. And the whole point of doing this is just so I can get those 2 lines, because what I'm going to do is split body, select those 2, and I can just remove that bit. F for fillet, and that was a 0.3. right click and remove that one. So now we've got the volume section there. And then just having a look. Okay. So really, the last thing to do now, bring those back, is the camera at the back. So I'm going to take my phone out of the case so I can have a proper look at it, but I've got reference images as well. So we kind of just want, I don't know if I can see on the camera, put those there. Let's bring our back reference image. And what we're going to do, create a sketch. Again, let's use that slot, center to center slot. Drag, it's a bit off, again. Yep, something like that. Hit E. Now it doesn't come out very far. Let's just drag it out just a little bit. Let's do like, probably too much. Hit 5. I'm going to go to new body. And then let's draw those lenses. I'm going to do C for circle, make sure I find the middle. E to extrude. So once you find that you're using the keyboard shortcuts a bit more, you find that it goes a little quite quicker. I'm actually going to turn off now that body so it doesn't get in the way. Drag it out. In fact, I'll do this, right click and isolate just so that's the only one we're working on. We're going to create sketch, grab that surface, E to extrude, just drag that all the way down, but new body. And then I'm going to fillet this as we're going along. Let's do like a 0.2. Start to get that separation. And then we'll do one more circle and we'll come into the middle. Start a sketch and then come to circle. E to extrude. I'm going to drag that down. Much like I did before. Create a sketch. And finish sketch, just so I can just hit E to extrude and grab that circle there. Rotate it around, just go to the back. Again, make sure it's new body. Fillet, we did 0.2. Fillet, 0.2. Okay, so we've now got our lenses and what we want to do. Hopefully this will work, but it doesn't always work. Let's go to create pattern and rectangular pattern. Change up the features and let's grab these features. I'll grab this here. Okay, we want some more of those features. We probably want drag that down. We don't want that one. We want these as well. So okay. Now it doesn't line up quite right, so we can go back and edit that feature and just drag it down a bit more. Click OK. And rather than have to do that 3 separate times, I turn my canvas off. Then roll individually for us, which is exactly what we want. Hit F for fillet, and let's do like a 0.3 again. So we've now got our camera. We then want our flash, which is quite a simple one. So we're going to sketch on this back part here. So just here, create, and let's go for a slot as well. Drag across, hit E to extrude, just drag that in a little bit. I'm then going to hit E to extrude, come back up, go to new body, fillet, that edge, fillet. There we go. So those details are done. So let's just turn the canvas off. So we've got everything on the front, remembering that underneath we've got, hide that one, we've got our details of our screen that you'll then be able to see. We will fillet all the edges. I need to make sure I don't forget to do that. I do want to make sure as well we do things like the jack and the charging port. So let's turn canvas on. So if I turn all the bodies off, it is on this side because I need to have it mirrored over. Yeah, so I'm gonna create a sketch on that plane. Remember, you need a flat plane to be able to do it. And hit C for circle, right in the middle, and it comes out something like that. And hit E to extrude. Drag that down like that. Turn that canvas off. Canvases can get in the way a little bit sometimes. Going to hit F for fillet. You will find as well sometimes that your fillets don't always work. Tends to be so. The reason that one didn't work, I'm assuming, is because it would have like broken that surface. So this one might not. Oh no, it did work. Okay. Okay, and then if you look at that, create a sketch, circle, E to extrude. Let's drag that down. So we've got that, and then down at the bottom, we've then got another slot, which is essentially where our charging port is. So let's create a sketch, create, let's go to slot again, center slot, and middle, then we can come down. In fact, what we're going to do is let's use P for project to grab that whole body, alpha line, we can find the middle perfectly, come up, alpha line, so we can find that middle perfectly, like that, so that crosses directly in the middle. And let's do the slot. So, not a massive one, just something. Something best. Let's trim that off, and let's call that 4. And then what we'll do is slot, center slot. Well, just do that to 8. Come out. E to extrude. Drag up. F of fillet. And then let's hit E to extrude. Drag that down a bit more. A little bit too much. Let's bring that back a little bit. And then let's just, let's delete that one. So delete, create sketch. L for line to find the middle. R for rectangle, and grab center rectangle. Fill up all these sides. I hit E. Drag that up. And I'm going to change that to new body. hit F for fillet, do like a 0.3, 2, like that. The modeling side of things is done. So last thing to do before we start texturing it is just going to go around and add some fillets to edges to make it a bit more rounded, because reality is nothing should have like that really sharp sort of edge to it. So let's go to F, fillet. And if you hold down control, it'll let you do multiple fillets like that. Just making sure we're going all the way around. Okay. That bit is done. So I'm going to take that away. I think we'll just fillet this slightly as well. And again, you can quite quickly just hit F on your keyboard for fillet. And with these fillets, I'm not being like specific with what it needs to be, and just what I think looks right. Don't worry if when you're doing it, your fillet ends up being a slightly different size. That is fine. I'm just turning off these bodies when I'm done with them, so I can check fillets everywhere else. And I'm pretty sure I did it everywhere else as I was going, because these have all got fillets. They've all got fillets. So if I bring everything back, right. So before we go on to texturing it, which we're going to jump into Blender to do, all I've made sure we've done is every part that I want to texture, it's a different body. That's the key thing we've got here, and then I've got those fillets on there as well, because then when we want to texture it, it makes it a lot easier to assign materials to those different bodies. Which is why when you go into extrude, and it has join, make sure you change it to new body. So the last thing I'm going to do is give this a quick save, click OK, and then go to File, Export, change that to FBX, and then I'm just going to leave it on my desktop so I can find it easily. Then click on Save and Export. So what I'm then going to do is jump over to Blender to have a go at texturing it. Okay, so we're in Blender. First thing I'm going to do is hit A to select everything and X to delete. And we're going to bring in our phone. We're going to File, Import, FBX, and then on the desktop we've got our phone we just modelled. I'm zooming because it's all the way down here. Now it looks tiny, but we've done it to scale. So if we go and Shift A and add that cube back in, excuse me, just so you know, this cube is a meter cube, so meter by meter by meter. So I'm going to just hit delete to get rid of that. So we have got the right measurements, it's just quite small compared to everything else. I'm going to select all, we want to rotate it, so if I hit R on my keyboard, I'm going to start rotating it randomly, but we want to lock it in place. So if you look here, we've got X, Y, and Z, Z up and down, X left, right, Y backwards and forwards. I'm going to hit X to lock it in place, and I can type in exact measurements. I type in 90 and hit enter, but it's brought in upside down. So what I'm going to do is R for rotate, X, I do minus 90 on the keyboard, and that's then brought it in right around. Select all again, hit G so I can move it around, hit Z to lock it in place, and then lock it in like that. So I'm going to start adding into materials. So for that I've got Blender Kit. There's a couple of add-ons I'm going to use. So I go to preferences. So the key ones I use also image as decal, which is a free one that you can download. So I'll put the link in the description. Tri lighting, which is built into Blender, but you need to install it. So just make sure you search for tri lighting and click on the tick. And I think that might. Oh, and Blender Kit, sorry, is the other one as well. So Blender Kit, because that's what's got all the material library on it. It's going to go up here, Blender Kit, and I'm going to type in plastic. We want like a plastic base. Something like that. So I'm going to drag that on like this. And at the minute, very little has changed other than it's removed the materials, because interestingly, Blender does recognize the fact that Fusion has applied materials to it. It doesn't know what to do with those materials, so it has that sort of default satin steel on it. So up here, you've got wireframe mode, you've got clay like render. You've got material preview, and then you've got rendering. That one won't do anything now because we've got no lighting built into it. So just go to material preview. So you start to see what it's going to look like. The other thing with texturing in Blender from Fusion is that we need to sort of like unwrap our model. So that's something called UV unwrapping, which basically means you're trying to tell Blender how you want the material to wrap around the object. Okay, so to do that, I'll just go up here to UV editing and you get these two split windows. I'm going to hit tab, I'm going to select the thing I want to unwrap, hit tab on the keyboard and it selects everything, like the faces. So I'm going 3 on my keyboard to select the faces, hit A to select it all, zoom out, and it's sort of unwrapped it for me. Now there's a few different kinds of unwrapping you do. You go to UV here, you can go to Smart Project, click OK. And if you zoom in, you see it's essentially trying to like make each part individual. Or in this case, you could go to Cube Projection. You have got loads of other ones as well, so cylindrical, spherical, and so on. What I suggest you do, right click and go to Add to Quick Favorites. Because if I go to Layout now, I don't need to go back into UV, because if I just hit Tab and select or hit Q, I've got it there already. The only thing you might need to do is if you go to UV Editing, if I zoom in, you see we've got like that, the graininess of that plastic. What I can do is hit Tab, select it all, hit Scale. It's quite hard to see, but if I drag it up, you see the granules, sorry, not the like graininess, are sort of like become a lot finer. So you can just play around with that until you're happy. And I'm going to start adding materials to it now. So we've got this, I'm going to double click on it. Let's call that main body. I'm then going to start selecting our buttons. And I'm going to set that main body as well. But if I click on this one here, I can duplicate it. Let's call that buttons. And I can just work my way around, applying buttons. Like that. So very quickly, we can start to add those materials in quite easily. Like that. Now with this one, I tried to find like the best sort of material, like a light bulb. Obviously didn't have anything like that, but they found this glitter gel seemed to look like close to what we wanted actually. So I started to drag that on so you see what it looks like. Like that. And then what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to grab that screen and hit H to hide it so we've got the underneath part. And this is where we've got the actual screen to be. So on materials here, I'm going to click on this X to get rid of it, add a new one, and under base color here, I'm going to go to image texture. I'm going to open, and then on my desktop, I have got what I want as the image. Now, at the minute, it needs to unwrap it, so I'm going to select it, hit Tab, Q, and Cube Projection. I'll go back over to UV. I want it to be that full size. I'm going to hit A and S. In fact, let me just rotate that so you can see what's going to happen. Keep an eye on this side here. S, I'm going to drag like that. So that's now projected onto there. And then I also want to make it glow, like light up. So go on Missive, do the same thing, go to image texture. I can just use that image. And then how bright do you want it to be? Let's do like 1, so it lights up. So we've now got our image on there. The inside bit, we want like a glossy plastic. Let's do like plastic glossy. And we'll take like this yellow because we can change the color. And the shading, I'm going to just change a lot of this. So view, area, close, view, area, close. So I've got these two. And then view, I'll change up to viewport, zoom in, put our material preview back on. And then I want to change this from yellow to black. So this is what materials look like sort of behind the curtain of how materials are actually made. So base color, I'm going to change this to black. So last thing is Alt H to unhide, and then this one we want like a transparent material. Let's take like this transparent glass, and very easily we'll apply materials to our thing. Last thing we want is to add some decals on there, which is why I use that image as decal add-on. So I'm going to click on the body, go and Shift A, image as decal. And again, on my desktop, I have got a couple of decals, which are currently massive. Let's do R to rotate, Z and do 90. Now it's huge, so I'm going to hit S to scale and bring it down. G and Z to bring it up. G, Y to bring it out. Scale to bring down. Now, I don't know what this key is called. The one above the tab and the left of the number 1 on the keyboard. If you click that, it'll let you get this little widget up. I'm going to come to the back just so I can move this into position. Make it a bit smaller and rotate it. So rotate R, Y, 180. Like that. And then let's bring in the Xperia logo as well. So Shift A, image as decal. I've now got that Xperia logo as well. Same thing. R, Z, 90. Scale. Bring it down. G, Z, G, Y. Bring that into position. Maybe scale it down a little bit more. Like that. So we've got the actual like texturing side of things done. So now we just sort of like want to like present it a bit nicer. I'm gonna do this a quick save so I don't do that. I'm gonna save the version that crashed before as I was doing it. So let's do that. So I'm gonna bring this up. That's G, Z. And then I'm going to Shift duplicate it, hit Y to move it along like that. And I'm just going to G, X just to move it, and then G, Z just to sort of move into position. And then this one here, rotate Z 180. So you can see we've got front and the back to show it off. Bring this up, G, Z, let's rotate a little bit just to sort of make it a bit more interesting to look at. Something like that. We're just going to add a little background to it. So Shift A, I get to mesh, and let's go to cylinder, which is now massive. Let's just scale it down. And then what we're going to do is S, but I'm going to do Shift Z to get rid of basically not make it taller. In like that. I'm going to go to the top view just to try and make sure I've got it in the middle as much as possible. A bit too big. I'm going to hit Tab to go to edit mode, grab that face, hit X and delete face. And I'm going to go to 2 to go to edge mode or come up here. Hold down Alt and click on the edge and Control B to bevel it. Add a bit of a bevel just to round off. Okay, before we do that, I'm just going to undo. I'm just going to go to Alt, my Control A, and apply all transformations. And then let's go to modifiers, generate subsurface modifier, edit, Control B. Something like that, and hit Q, shade smooth. Now shade smooth is on my quick thing, which is what I've added as well, like that. But if you go to object and shade smooth, it's there. Let's just bring that down, G, Z, something like that. give this a quick save. And then we want to add like a generic sort of background to it. So I'm going to go Shift A, go to plane. And then what we'll do, we can make that a bit smaller, I think. Let's make it like that. And then what I tend to do, edit mode, go to edge, grab those edges there, E to extrude, Z to lock it in place, like that. And then what we're going to do is just grab those edges, Control V to bevel, make a bit of a bevel. Just like that. And then let's go shade smooth as well. And then we want to add just not like generic sort of neutral color. So what I'm going to do is make a material for that. I'm going to just have it saving every once in a while. I'm going to go to shading, so we see what's going on. Now I have got a node that I use just to add materials in, but we want to get it up. I've got it up there already. So that's this. So basically I just use it so I can add a bit of noise, so it's just not like a flat background basically. So I'll build that with you as we're doing it. So I'm going to add a new material. And then what we're going to do is go Shift A, and let's type in color but spelled wrong because it's American. Color ramp in, Shift A, mix, plug that into there, Shift A, noise. I'm going to put that into B. And you see noise essentially is like loads and loads of dots. So what I tend to do is try and make that like quite fine. Just stops it being a completely like flat background. A gradient as well, and that's why the mix is there, so we can mix it together. You see what's going on there, but we just want to make sure we've got a bit more control over that. So let's go to mapping, put vector into vector, Shift A, texture coordinates. Let's go to UV. Oh. Like that. So we can change that to say, zoom in so I can see a bit more. Circle. So I'll see what's going on. Play with these colours a bit. Let's call this backdrop, and then we'll apply it to there as well. So let's go to backdrop. So very easily, what's going on there? There we go. And now what we're going to do is add some lighting to it. So we've got like a little photo booth basically of I'm going to do it. Shift A, let's add an empty and add a cube. That's huge, so let's go press to scale, bring it down, G to bring it up. Now the whole reason why we add this is just so we've got something for the light to point at. So I'm going to go Shift A, light, 3-point lighting. And then you can change how much power you want those lights to do. We turn on render mode now, you start to see. So at the minute you can't see anything because it's so dark. We start to up those numbers a little bit. See what's happening, so just sort of go play around a little bit with the lights. So some of this will just be trial and error of just how much you want to have. Just find a nice position to show off our work. Sometimes what's quite nice to do is add a bit of colour. The lights as well. Something kind of like that. Only want to add a camera in because I don't think, no, we've got a camera. It's this huge thing here. Let's go to delete. Shift A, camera. We don't want to align our view, so we go to view. So decide how you want to, like, what view you want to render it from. So something like that. View, align view, align active camera to view, like that. I've got that as my quick thing as well. And then under camera view, we can sort of just shift around where we want that to be. Get that into position. And you see what our final render is going to look like. So from there, we might like change the lighting a little bit. I won't, because you can spend it forever. Adding more and more lighting in. So if we had to like make it a bit more powerful. Sometimes what can be good as well is if you go Shift A, light, an area light, GZ, bring it up. Let's see what. So you could, for example, do that. If you want to, and do like one big area like that. If you want to, but what you can do as well is take that, scale it down, bring it down, rotate, and use that to sort of point backdrop a little bit. Shift D might make another one of those. So it just starts to light up, and that will make that a bit less powerful. D, bring those up, rotate like that. So maybe we don't want those in, but just something like that. So there's loads of different variations you can play around with lighting however you want. Let's do something like that. And then for render settings, for this I'm just going to use Eevee because it's quite quick. Go to render image. And then very easily, very quickly, you've got some nice quality presentation of your future models. So hopefully you've enjoyed following along. If you've got any questions, leave a comment down below, or email me at design with Simon at outlook.com.